Few locations in the Pokémon franchise are as iconic or uniquely remembered as Lavender Town. In a game about children adventuring with their loyal creatures at their side, a town dedicated to a graveyard is in stark contrast to the tone of the rest of the game. Today we are going to examine the noble purple town and discuss what makes it so recognizable in the lore and history of Pokémon. For those unfamiliar, Lavender Town is nestled deep within the Kanto region, which is the playable region in the first generation of Pokémon games. It is also the region featured in the first season of the Pokémon anime. Unlike most towns or cities in the Kanto region, Lavender Town is unique due to the fact that it does not host a Pokémon gym. Lavender Town is most known for being the graveyard of sorts for the region and for the Pokémon franchise in general. The Pokémon Tower is the most notable landmark in Lavender Town and is a graveyard of sorts in the form of a vertical tower with room after room of buried Pokémon, each marked with an individual gravestone. The video games are clear and straightforward, stating that the spirits who rest in the Pokémon Tower are ones of Pokémon who have passed on and are no longer part of the world of the living. This fact alone creates an ominous and foreboding atmosphere that hangs heavily over the town of Lavender. Coupled with the eerie music that is unlike most tracks in the game, Lavender Town becomes instantly recognizable. The storyline of the first generation of Pokémon games also has a strong connection to Lavender Town in the form of the Sylph Scope, which is used to identify spirits that have inhabited the tower. The player is forced to utilize the Sylph Scope to see through the spirit mask and unveil which Pokémon hides beneath. The player is initially warded off by an angry spirit of a deceased Marowak who was killed while trying to defend its baby, Cubone, from Team Rocket. These story beats are unlike anything encountered in the game up to this point, and anything encountered afterwards, and arguably anything that has been shown since in the Pokémon franchise. A rare, dark moment in an otherwise cute or adventurous set of Pokémon games. Lavender Town is also unique since it's the only location in the game where players can capture Ghastly or Haunter, two of the three ghost-type Pokémon that existed in the first generation of Pokémon. With such a limited amount of ghost-type Pokémon in the game, and an exclusive location in which they could be captured, it only aided in the uniqueness and memorable aspects of Lavender Town itself. Not only was Lavender Town mysterious in-game and unique in its attributes, but outside of the game, the legend was equally as ethereal. The mysterious nature of Lavender Town, as well as the Pokémon who could be captured there, led to increased popularity, legends, and playground stories that lended themselves to increased level of mystery and wonder. Theories about spirits of other deceased Pokémon were also created around the lore and legend of Lavender Town. Up to the point in which you first visit Lavender Town, your rival was carrying a Raticate during your previous battles. After battling and defeating your rival aboard the SSN Pokémon cruise ship, you later encounter him here in the tower, and his Raticate is mysteriously absent. Theories of your battle aboard the SSN and the inability to reach a Pokémon Center in time, resulting in the death of your rival's Raticate, led to a more sobering idea of Pokemon battles and their toll that they take on the Pokemon involved. It wasn't until decades later, however, that the theories and legend of Lavender Town expanded to their full extent. With the dawn and increased popularity of online platforms such as YouTube and 4chan, Pokemon fan theories and creepypasta videos were becoming more and more prevalent and popular. One of the most popular of these creepypasta fan theories was a theory called Lavender Town Syndrome. The Lavender Town Syndrome theory tells the story of the original release of the Pokemon games in Japan before being introduced internationally. The story goes that the original Japanese exclusive red and green versions of Pokemon had a unique set of music for Lavender Town that was subtly different than what was released to the rest of the world. This music track was said to be very similar to what we know now as the Lavender Town theme, but with slight variations and additions of multiple tones and sounds that were only audible to children. These high-pitched tones were said to induce negative side effects in children who listened to them for extended periods of time while playing the game. Of course, this theory was only a work of fiction, but that did not stop this from going viral and working its way into the psyche and memories of many Pokemon fans at the time. The theory gained so much notoriety that, in fact, many fans still believe it to be true today. The lasting impact of Lavender Town lies primarily with the Generation 1 Pokemon games as well as their Generation 3 remakes, as upon visiting Lavender Town in Generation 2 games Gold, Silver, and Crystal, the Pokémon Tower has been replaced with a radio broadcast station, and the overall tone of Lavender Town as a place where ghost sightings are common and death is prevalent have been substantially subdued. In a surprising turn of events, however, the Generation 7 Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee games expanded per se on the tone and storyline of Lavender Town, this time including enhanced graphics and a look at the enraged spirit of Marowak and leaning more into the story beats of loss and grief. Aside from these changes, however, the feel and storyline of Lavender Town has not been replicated to the same extent in other games, and the tones of death and grief have widely been avoided or watered down in future installments of the Pokemon franchise. The mystery of Lavender Town also extends into the Pokemon animations. Lavender Town only makes a single appearance in the original Pokemon anime, in which Ash must travel to Lavender Town and capture a ghost Pokemon in order to defeat the psychic gym leader Sabrina in Saffron City. The Pokemon Tower is displayed more as a decrepit and abandoned building, which houses a host of resident ghost Pokemon. The imagery of gravestones and grieving Pokemon trainers are not present. A better depiction of Lavender Town exists in the Pokemon Origins anime series, in which the trainer Red briefly visits the town, and a callback to a piece of dialogue from an NPC in the first generation games that alludes to a ghostly white hand over the player's shoulder is referenced and shown in the anime with a nice nod to the mystery and spooky nature that was present in the original Lavender Town. Although a seemingly small inclusion in the original Pokemon games, Lavender Town's imagery, story, legends, and lore have become a long-lasting staple in the Pokemon franchise. It has helped to create countless stories and theories that will no doubt continue to inspire future locations and storylines in other Pokemon installments. As always, thank you for giving me your time. If you have enjoyed today's content, please consider subscribing and supporting future videos. If you would like to see a large variety of older content from this channel's history, consider joining as a paid member, which gives you a large library of legacy videos, as well as future members-only content in which I expand my videos to other franchises or topics. And with that, thank you.